Thank you, Carherick, and just to congratulate, I suppose, my colleague Ivana Batrick, who is being true to her commitments in the Dublin Bay South by-election of bringing forward this legislation and indeed dealing with so many local groups. And as a fellow Bay watcher from the north side, representing Dublin Bay North, this piece of legislation will be particularly important for the area that I represent. We feel strongly about Dublin, and we feel strongly that Dublin deserves protection and deserves enhancement. We feel strongly that lessons have to be learned from the various different crises that we've had over the years, that people have returned to the Bay. When it came to the financial crisis and people had struggles in their lives of things that they began to reconnect with on their doorstep, they turned to the Bay. When it came to the COVID crisis, when people were maybe locked out of other pursuits, they turned to the Bay, walking, swimming, enjoying this absolutely fantastic facility on their doorstep. And then they began to realise that maybe it's not tended to or treated or enhanced as well as it should. I know in my own part of the bay up in Howth, in Doldrum Bay, raw sewage is pumped in to that bay, and that's something that has been of major local concern in the Howth area for quite a number of years. You go around to Clontarf and you can see the conditions that the swimmers. It's an iconic part of Dublin, Clontarf, swimming, all the iconography around the place, all the paintings that have ever painted of Clontarf are about swimming, about that sense of enjoyment, yet the facilities just aren't up to scratch. And you see, you don't even just have to go to Spain to see enhanced facilities. You can go to Portmarnock in your own constituency and see how things can be done by Fingal County Council. But we can't have this number of different city council authorities from Fingal to Dublin City to other local authorities, all a mismatch of authorities over this incredible facility. So what we are suggesting from the Labour Party is that we need to enhance and have a structure over Dublin Bay that will protect it and, as I say, enhance it. And just to repeat what Deputy Batrick has said, what we are suggesting is to be a new statutory Dublin Bay Authority. And this is not a new idea. As Deputy Batrick has said, it's been campaigned for quite a number of years from people from many different backgrounds and interest groups. Promoting policies for the protection and enhancement of the environment of Dublin Bay and the natural habitats and wildlife in and around the Bay, so I can only think of how that would enhance my own constituency. Promoting and supporting strategic planning and sustainable development in and around Dublin Bay, and making recommendations to regulate and control pollution, which I've already referenced in and around Dublin Bay, and I've mentioned the Doldrum Bay issue. So, Minister, I think this is a piece of legislation that should get government support. We don't really want to hear from you that you're just not opposing it or that you want to delay the next stage of this bill for 12 months. I think if we're serious about Dublin, if we're serious about enhancing the public realm, if we're serious about enhancing our citizens' life experience in Dublin, that when we learn from the financial crash, when we learn from COVID, what we learn about the cost of living crisis currently is that you can see people returning to that natural interaction with the Bay, of the beauty of the Bay, and rediscovering it. But the sad thing is they also rediscover just how poorly it has been protected over the years. So please, Minister, we'd ask you not just to not oppose it, but to support this bill, the effort behind it, and not to have a situation where we have to wait perhaps 12 months for the next stage of the bill. So to congratulate Deputy Batrick, my colleague, and indeed all those who have been campaigning in this field for so many years to get us to this point where we might actually be at the stage of having a statutory Dublin Bay Authority.